me too.
So not.
And now, after all the technical bullshit, we're about to go live. Hello. We're back. All right. We never went anywhere. We just have no clue what we're doing, and we are enjoying the hell out of it. So
Yes.
All right, we have audio.
Woo!
But the video's not working.
No,
It's
really?
working? What are you talking about?
Apparently not.
I'm looking at the stream right now.
Yeah, is it frozen though?
It's frozen.
Yes, it's frozen.
Let's do
What
it.
a
Let's
joke.
Here, there we go. Now it's fixed. I don't know. I have no idea what happened to all the settings, but everything got reset. So,
Okay. All right.
you ready?
Just
Yeah,
verifying.
Looks all good.
Man, we had so much energy on that first intro too.
We can bring it back. How are you guys doing?
Not nearly that good.
oh, I'm
That's
doing damn
pretty-
good. I got a belly full of good food. I got a glass full of water, and I'm sitting down with my two best friends. Let's get into it.
That's a little much.
All right, as we spoke a moment ago, but this is a new stream, obviously. So we are going to be going through your favorite, yes, you know it, Mass Effect tier list
Yeah.
for all the characters. Mass Effect includes Andromeda, as I'm informed by these two
Yes.
bums. So, you all right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't gotta call me out like that.
You okay, Kyle?
Live stream.
You watching another stream?
I'm watching something much more entertaining than us.
All right, guys, so here we are. Let's go ahead. All right, Dylan,
Okay.
why don't you start us off like last time?
So, first off, we got Thane. Thane, I'm going to put in S-class for me, just because I feel like his character arc, his story, very good, very compelling, and especially his self-sacrifice at the end, you know, it's a very touching story that put him in the heart of many fans.
What
of
do you
Mass
think
Effect.
about his logic of, I've never felt guilt over any of my contracts. I'm not a killer. I'm
A tool?
A weapon.
No.
I'm okay with that.
Are you? I mean, that's pretty gray area.
Yeah, it's gray area, but I mean, it's a different religion. It's a different culture.
You don't hold the gun accountable for when it kills someone, is his argument.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's a different culture. It's complete alien species. I'm not going to judge them too much if that's what they
But
believe.
his culture, he's killing other cultures.
Other
Yeah.
species.
So
So he's bringing in other cultures into his own beliefs.
To me, I can't put him in S tier simply because I don't feel like his story is long enough. Like, we don't really get too
when you
much.
skip
of him.
through two so fast,
What are you talking about? I 100%ed it.
He did.
we had to force you to.
You didn't force me to do it. I did it. You just told me the routes.
you almost skipped the last two DLC because you're like, I just want to get it started. And
Yes. Well, because I wanted to get to 3.
See?
Make the big boy decisions. But I still did it. And I didn't. Almost skipping through it and skipping through it are two separate things. I still did it. All right? Leave me alone,
you didn't
guys.
appreciate it.
I take back
It's like
my
a
initial
fine
statement.
wine.
I just don't feel. I felt like he's a fantastic character. I think there's a lot of backstory, but I don't feel like we like unless you really go out of your way and like learn as much as you can about the character. I don't know if he's in the story enough to place him in S tier. He's a good character, but I would put him.
So do
more
you
in
think
A.
to be an S tier, you have to be in all three games?
Yes,
To be fair, he also wasn't in 3 that much because he was sick and dying.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And 2 is my least favorite game.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, he's it's for S. I would say it's mainly due to his impact on the story. Even though he's not in all 3, it's a very impactful moment in 3 when he sacrifices himself, and it's a sign of a good arc or good story when I remember him. Like, we're gonna get to these Andromeda characters. I have no clue of their arc. I know one because I hated it so much, but like
We could just leave the Andromeda. people
no, I
out.
want to include him. Jarl. I don't remember his story
It's
at all.
Jarl.
Jarl. Okay, see, even said Jarl. Jarl of Windrun.
Jarl of Windhelm.
But like I think he's S tier not because his length in the games, but more his impact to the games.
All right, Kyle, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm thinking
Or
A tier.
not tiebreaker.
A good tier. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking A tier.
So what was yours, Billy?
A.
A. Okay.
Yeah, I think while I love his arc, I love his story. I think there's some merit to Will's argument with the length of time he was in the series. I think it's a beautiful arc, but I don't think that he had too much of an impact overall on the main story. And I do think his sacrifice was important, but at the same time,
He's kinda just down and out.
It's dumbed. It's not dumbed down. It's like it's dulled because it happens right after Morden's much greater sacrifice. Literally right after that
Yeah.
one. I still love him as character though. So I think A.
And I mean, A is not an insult. A
not
is
at all.
like
Absolutely not at all.
best below S. So,
Yeah.
all right. So we going around the table.
You're gonna have. I'm gonna keep passing it back and forth to you guys because I want your guys' opinion first because it's gonna weigh the most.
Okay.
All right. So Morinth, D. Absolutely garbage character. I take the opportunity to kill her every time when you have to choose between her and Samara. I think that she's interesting, but if we're looking at this from the frame of like, squad mates, no.
Yeah.
So she's a terrible squad mate.
So for someone, I guess the more level-headed, virgin to Mass Effect, just played it the one time. What I remember, she turned fully into her cult, right, and was like trying to kill
she's
everybody.
a genetic defect that when they mate with somebody, they kill them.
Right.
And she fully embraces it. She was sent to this like monastery where they like live lives alone.
Basically, as nuns.
As
but
nuns.
the people with that defect.
Yes, but they
live
train them
alone.
to like not embrace it, and she's like all about embracing herself and that defect and killing people.
Was she solo in that effort at that place?
Yes.
Well,
Or did
there
it
are
sort of become a
many.
cult?
There are many art at Yakshi like her, but like it wasn't like she was with a group of other ones.
Yeah, she was the only one that escaped and that we know of that escaped and is murdering people.
I thought she was sort of.
I'm sure there's
trying
They
to-
did that in the
trying
past.
to
That's the
break
whole reason
that.
they have that monastery now. But yeah, no. In the event that you choose her over Samara for whatever reason, if you decide to do that, she'd be a squad mate. And the funny thing about her is, if you you can actually romance her, and then it leads up to like
Your death.
I think you're strong enough to do it with me. And then when you guys have sex, it's a game over screen, and it makes you restart. So you literally cannot like.
Damn.
Interesting character, but as a squad mate, it's definitely D.
no D tier. I agree.
Yeah.
Next we got Caden Alenko. One of the two possible choices to kill in Mass Effect 1.
I'll let you take
Him
the-
and Ashley. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say, Caden. I'm gonna say a B. He's just kind
You're
of.
gonna say B?
I'm gonna say a B.
Okay.
Um.
I think that's generous, actually.
Okay.
I was gonna place more C.
I'm going B because he's kind of bland. Which
B
I
for
guess
bland.
might be a C, but he's just. I
For
don't.
Clan.
Yeah. Clan. I don't really have an opinion about him. I'll move it to C. I don't know.
I feel like both squad mates that you have the choice to pick between both suck.
Yeah, at least okay. You know what? I'll give him this. He's not a space racist like Ashley is. He has his funny moments where he's like reminiscing on stuff, and he just looks off in the distance.
Beautiful view.
Yeah. So I'll give him a point over Ashley, but he's just bland.
I dislike him for the same reasons I dislike Ashley, is they kind of fall into basically the character swaps of the same arc, and I don't like how distrusting he is of Shepard. Both of them, and I prefer him over Ashley, I think. But I think C is probably what I'd rate him.
When I was a kid, I used to choose Ashley, and that was a mistake.
Because he's a romancer.
Yeah.
Imagine all the great romances and you choose Ashley.
I know. It was horrible. But then, later in the years, I got to thinking, it's bros before hoes. This chick we just met on this planet and we save her versus Caden.
Yeah.
He's been on our team for years.
You've known Caden forever, and you're like, sorry, Caden. I'm thinking with my dick.
But I also just think like Commander Shepard, like putting all that shit, bros before hoes and shit to the side. I think just story wise, it makes sense to save Caden than it does Ashley.
Well, yeah. I mean, why do you say story wise?
Well, because like she's left to guard the bomb, right?
Well, you
Or
can
she-
choose. You can send them either way. It
Oh, you
depends.
send them either
Yeah.
way. Okay.
I think in
But-
your scenario, she was the one guarding the bomb,
Yes.
but you could actually choose.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't who you chose to do that. You still have to save one or the other.
I would always recommend, at least for me, I always put whoever I'm going to save with Kirhi
Yeah.
so that I can pick him up too.
That way, it makes sense story wise.
Yeah.
How they
that someone has to defend the bomb until
Yeah.
it goes off. That's how I justify it. So whoever I'm not going to save, I make them watch the bomb, so that I don't feel as bad being like, "I'm sorry, I had to choose."
yeah.
And they like it makes no sense to choose the other person. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think because you have like this choice of either or, both characters have to kind of suck, because if any of them like had any redeeming quality, you would be like, "Oh, I hate killing them." But in this case, I don't think people really squabble over the fact of killing either at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
I think maybe they did when it first launched, like when they were playing that. But like as the series went on, there's more like
There's so many.
they
other
realized
great
how many better characters
Yeah.
there are throughout the series, which we'll get into for sure.
All right, Kyle.
Which leads us to the next of the two killable characters.
Big booty girl herself.
I think it's unfair to give her a D just based on the importance she plays in his life, but I can't see anything higher than a C for sure.
No,
B for
definitely
booty.
C. No.
B for booty, an A for ass, an S for
I would-
silly goose.
Yeah, I would do a D for me just because of the space racist part. I don't know. It's
she's
she eventually
she
gets
learns
over
the
it,
errors of her ways.
but it's like okay.
I when she uses that analogy in Mass Effect 1 where she's like, if it came between you or the dog, you would kill the dog. You love the dog, but it's not a human. And she's saying that's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, no, it's not the same thing.
You love the dog, but it's not a human. Shh. And then she
She-
gets
and
all
then
mad
she-
at you for Cerberus.
She seems like the kind of person that would join Cerberus right
Yeah.
away.
All right, Edie.
All right, I think D's fair.
Yeah, D's fair. Edie, ooh, A. I think she's very integral to the plot, and she grows into such a character in 3, especially in 2. She's kind of, but in 3, she really blooms.
I like her arc as well. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say A, just because very important to story, and it plays hugely into the last decision at the end.
And there's so many things that Edie has done
Mm-hmm.
that saved you without you even realizing. Like, you're like, oh, while you're
Is it
doing
Edie
that,
or
I
is
was
it her
fighting
AI?
off. What's Edie? And she was
Yeah.
like, while you're doing that, I was fighting off 1,000 different hacking programs to say,
Yeah.
like, and if you weren't there, the ship would have exploded or something. Like she's just very integral.
So do you think
To
her? Do
success.
you think her, or do you think her programmers?
No, her.
No,
Because she only really starts to do that once you unshackle her.
yeah, like
Yeah.
she's a full on AI, so she made her own decisions.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't. I mean, that's a whole ethics and like
Conversation.
ethos conversation, but I think she deserves the praise since she can make her own choices.
There you go. I agree. She was a fantastic character and very central to the decision making, especially at the end.
Yeah. With her whole AI versus,
Yep.
overtaking humans. They can't be cooperate, but then here's an example.
Well, they also like
working.
make it also makes like your choice for the Geth that much more difficult, right?
And the choice for the end of the game,
Yeah. Because if you choose
Exactly.
anything,
other than she says
if you choose destroy,
Somebody
if
kill
you
else
her.
choose
has-
destroy, which a lot of people have argued is the better of the endings, like the canon ending, if you will.
Fuck the canon.
Then you're losing not only Geth, but you're also losing Edie.
And guess what? When people figure out how to do AI again, it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Synthesis just seems, even though it's forced, it seems like it's better for the long term.
Yeah.
Then
I think it's inevitable. All right, what's this? I can't remember this guy's name.
James.
good old
James.
James. I'm gonna give him B for bro.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to agree B.
Okay, I was going to do like C.
Because if I
D?
give, yeah. if
I did, dude.
D?
I don't like his character at all. I thought he
Even-
was just a waste.
I love his arc.
He comes in at the third game, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's too late.
You
I
like
already have
him
bonds
less
with
than
everybody.
Caden?
Huh?
Less than Caden.
Oh, I don't think Caden should be at sea either, but
We compromised.
Okay.
Caden was a waste of space. Like, he had nothing to offer. He just anyway. We're moved on.
Yeah.
James is he's your bro, man, and
Yeah.
he also
He's the only one that like took
You're-
your side, right?
yeah, you're a mentor
Yeah.
to him, and he looks up to you like you're
chose a terrible pupil. Let's just say that
what?
Shep chose a terrible pupil to train.
What are you talking about? He was,
No, he's great.
he would jump on a
Jacked.
grenade for you. He would sacrifice.
Maybe
himself
it's
to
just
save
like
you.
the first few opening lines that get me because it's like, there's that
his
time
very
jump.
first scene. He's saluting you
Yeah,
and
exactly.
thanking you.
Yeah, but then he's
Like-
but then he throws some cheese lines in there.
What
like,
did he say? That was
Well,
cheese.
because like it's supposed to be assumed that you've been working with him for years. There's that time.
You're
jump.
literally in prison, and his very first
And he's the
line
only
is,
one that-
"You're
yeah.
not supposed to salute, or you're not supposed to call me that anymore, James." He's like, "I'm not supposed to salute you either." So his very
just-
first line is,
Yeah, I
him
just thought it was a
telling
little simpy, a little
Little
fanboy.
His very first line is solidifying that he's
No, I
ride or
know,
die.
but that's what I'm saying. Like again, I binged these games. I'm on the third game. I'm like, the whole stage is set, and then this guy's trying to act like he's my best friend of all time. I'm like, no, sorry, bro.
he
I
might have
don't know
been for
you.
the 6 months you were in prison.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely was because he was the only one that like had still respect for you.
Yeah,
And then, but you developed the friendship throughout the third game.
Not
With the
enough.
conversations you have, and you toss him on the floor. And
he takes
tell
his
him,
shirt
He's
off
no
around you
Rex.
to
Yeah.
show you his N7. Well, he's not Rex, but
He's no
Yeah.
Rex.
he's
Rex-
as close to a Krogan as
Garrett.
you can get.
Yeah, a
for
Krogan
a human.
And then you have the pull-up challenge with him.
Yeah.
Don't you beat him? Or no, you can let him win, right?
Well, you can choose to beat him. It's
And
more.
you
Yeah.
can do 1,000 or something.
It's
right?
like
Isn't it-
200, but it's
it's an
actually
achievement?
200 clicks, and it's
I
very
did it.
slow. Yeah, I don't even think you get an achievement for it. I think it's just
It's just that's it.
yeah. And he goes, "Holy hell, you did it!" And that's like the only.
Okay, moving to the man himself, Garrus.
Garrus, this is
That's
easy
easier.
S.
Easy S.
D. Just kidding.
One of the best bros in the game.
Absolutely.
Squad mate, he has an amazing arc throughout all three games. First one, they didn't really have too big of arcs just because it's how the game
I
was
mean,
designed.
he did. It was the morality
doctor.
behind,
Archangel was 2, right?
Archangels too. But the first one, there was all that morality around if you have the ability to do something, should you?
Mhm.
Or should you, do it the way you're supposed to? Or like, if I have to kill 10 people to save 20, I'm going to do it kind of thing. And there's a
Uh-huh.
whole back and forth with him. So I'd say he even had a decent arc in the first one too.
Yeah. And I mean, it just culminates in the end. He's like your best friend in space. You talk at the end, and he's like, "If you're at the bar and I'm not, just know I'll be drinking for you," or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, he says, he's like, James told me this old human saying, may you be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. He's like, if you're there at the bar, give me a drink or something like that.
He's the guy that never asks for anything and is just always there.
Yep.
And it's just perfect.
One of
And
his,
he comes from like such a tactical race that like he has so much to offer as a supporting character.
He's one of the best squad mates. Period.
Like
Based on his
across any
skills.
game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
go old S. One of his first lines in Mass Effect 3 is, he's like, you coming, Garrus? Are you kidding? I'm right behind you. Just met him.
Just met him. He's full in.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
Grunt.
Grunt. Back and forth. I'm gonna say I'm higher. I think I'm gonna go A.
I'll agree. A.
What were you gonna think? What were you gonna do?
I was close to S. Not quite there.
He's your boy. You raise him.
Mhm.
You're his father.
You're his father.
Basically.
It's true.
You are. He comes out of the tank and you teach him how to be a Krogan. He passes his right because you were his Krant.
Yeah.
But he's a little pussy ass tank bred.
That's what all the other Krogans say to him,
Yep.
and
I
he's
know.
got to put them in their place.
He just headbutts them and they shut up.
He's I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those characters that he's very easy to love, like
You
a,
can
like
love
a teddy
that
bear,
species.
but also very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just love that species. It's only like during wartime though. Like, if there's ever a time of peace, like you're not hanging out with these guys. These guys are getting in fights at
Until
bars.
after Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
They learned to put more emphasis on culture and
Yeah.
And chill.
rebuilding.
Thank you, Rex.
Thank
you.
Right, we got Jaal from Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a D.
This is a conversation between you two because I never played Andromeda.
I like him as a character. Actually, I'd be inclined to give him like a C at least.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't
I don't want to
remember-
hold the
What
game.
is he? Is he
Yeah.
a Krogan?
No, it's a new species
Yeah.
called an Angara. That you don't get to until Andromeda. I don't want to hold the fact that I don't like that game against these characters.
True.
You know, he's pretty interesting. He starts off very aggressive and like
Wasn't-
mean and
He kind of like Garrus.
a little bit, yeah. His character is very much like Garrus. But you know, again, Andromeda. The fault with Andromeda is their characters. Might have been interesting, but their arcs weren't.
Yeah.
You know, like his outcome wasn't that interesting to me, so I can't see myself giving him higher than a C.
I'll seed. It's a seed at C.
Is it Jack?
Jack. We got Jack. I'm going to say
Jack.
B.
B.
B for me. She's a great character, has a great arc. You know, she totally 180 flips to be a school teacher, and it's really cool seeing her as that. But I not up there with Grunt or Thane for me.
No, I like her. I think B's fair. I like her. I don't like how easy it is for her to just hate you in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
Even if you have her loyalty. Like, I was trying to be Paragon with her, and like, you know, and then you always accidentally like get into like a semi-romance with her, and I was like, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. And then for the whole rest of the game, every time I talked to her, she was like, fuck off! Every time you walked into the
I'm like, okay.
and you're like, all right, whatever. And then in the next game, she's like, you know, I learned a few things from you. And you're like, you told me to fuck off. Like,
Every time.
every time I went to go talk to you. I played it. I have romanced her before in one of my playthroughs, and that romance is actually one of the most like soft romances in the game. Believe it or not, it's very interesting. But yeah, I think B's fair.
I like her abilities a lot. Like as a squad, she's a what is that called? The
Biotic.
Biotic.
As a
right?
squad mate, she's an
She's
S.
a
Yeah.
She's
She's
a
so
beast.
powerful.
Yeah. But yeah, I think. So what are we? We're rating kind of like story or kind
I
of
think we're
overall
rating
character.
their
Overall.
character. If we're basing it strictly on
I'd
their
probably even
combat
go a little
abilities,
higher.
that'd be
Yeah,
I'd
that'd
probably
be
do
different.
A for Jack just personally, but yeah,
A for Jack.
yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going A
All
too.
right.
I think it's
Wow.
I
Yeah.
do enjoy the character, and she's got one of like the fucking craziest backstories.
it's sad.
It's super sad, and so like her loyalty mission feels like good. Like you feel like you earn loyalty by stepping up for her and kind of going with her along that mission.
I felt like she was kind of bitching at me the whole time.
Well, that's just her. Look what she went through.
I know, but
She
she's
was-
just like,
From birth, experimented on to become
Yeah.
a more powerful
No
biotic.
trust.
I don't remember it this way. I wasn't the bad guy.
She was a little kid.
Just saying, she's an adult now.
If you see, she made it out well compared to that other dude.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to restart the academy. It will be beautiful. And he's all crazy. Like,
Let's blow this shit up, Shepard.
and he's like, I'll stay here. Like, that guy was nuts.
Okay, is it Jacob?
Jacob.
Jacob.
Are you guys not impressed with how well I remember this?
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know. He just falls into bland character.
And even his loyalty
I can't
mission-
forgive him as a female shepherd. If you romance him, he cheats on you and he breaks up with you, and there's nothing you could do about that, you know, and that's kind of shitty. So
If you're male shepherd, is there anyone that cheats on you?
no,
No.
That's so weird.
I don't know why they chose him of all characters to.
So like your one romance in
BBS.
the game, you could get fucked over by this guy.
Well, the female shepherd has a lot of the more tragic romances because you could romance Thane too,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
there's nothing you could do about that. He just passes away, and that's very sad.
Before he tries to shank you. I mean, what?
And his loyalty missions suck
It
in both
Yeah.
games.
Dude,
I
it's
dread doing
so
his loyalty.
bad.
That's the
Yeah.
only in Mass Effect 2. I love that game. That's the only mission that I wait till the last because I'm just like I don't want to go to
gotta
this
go.
stupid
So bad.
island.
Get the
with
Hugo Gerns back with his
Yeah.
dad that's being all weird. Gave mental like disabilities to the people. It was playing God. Just weird.
is this an Andromeda
That's
character?
That is
PB.
PB.
Is that from the main games?
That's from Andromeda.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'll say she's a C, along with Jaw. I thought she was one of the stronger characters in Andromeda.
I
for
liked
me.
her.
Yeah,
I think I could give her
stronger
a B.
character in
B?
a terrible.
Yeah, I think I could give her a B. She was very interesting. I think the Asario is interesting, but she was
she was a young Asari.
fun, energetic. She was young, basically like a child by their standards. So it is kind of weird that you can like romance her. I get how old was she again? Is in between like 50 and 100 or something
yeah.
like that. And that's like Liara when she was like 106. She was like, I'm barely an adult.
Yeah.
So it is a little odd.
Teenager. And
Yeah. That you could romance her, but
I'll agree
she's
with B.
interesting. Ooh.
Next we got Legion.
Legion.
He's gonna be an S tier
Yeah.
for me.
He's an S tier for me as well.
His arc is amazing, and especially his loyalty mission in Mass Effect 3, or it's not even a loyalty mission; it's like the main mission.
Yeah, I don't think you can skip it, right?
No, you can't skip it, and just the lines he has are amazing.
Do you remember what the Geth said to cause the war? Does this unit have a soul? It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Then Tally's like, yes.
I know, Tally. The only time he said I was right before he died. He finally became a true intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
An individual.
An individual.
I love that Legion or the Geth. You know, they're all, it's all one basically, in my opinion.
Until the end.
Until the end.
He's
But
like, what is the
it's-
individual? There is no individual in front of you. What do I call you? Geth. Like,
it is the story to me.
Yeah.
And it is the most interesting because it makes you think about like how you address this race, this intelligence, and it forces your entire decision on the game because like without this, you don't really understand. I feel like you could easily make a bullish, do the destroy and you move on with your day. But the Geth is what it makes you contemplate the other options because you're like, wait a minute, can we integrate with this? Why are they scary? Like, okay, obviously they've been manipulated and they can be used in a bad way, but is there a way around this?
Especially when you do his loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2 and you learn, or no, in 3, and you learn the
when you
history
go
of the
into
Geth.
yeah, the program.
And so you actually learn that they aren't this evil thing that you've heard from the Quarians for all 3 games. They're
Yeah.
actually like they were good, and then they became sentient, and the Quarians tried to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they decided no, they didn't want to be killed.
It's like very parallel to like the what's Morden's race?
Solarian,
The Solarians and the
Krogan.
Krogan, thank you. They're a threat. Let's just corrupt them or completely like try to wipe them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of wild.
I love that line when it was revealed that they had the upper hand and they just let the Quarians go. Like, why'd you do that? And they're like, we were in our infancy. We could not calculate the repercussions of eliminating an entire race. Like, and it's like cold and calculating, but at the same time, like you can see like the life in them,
The beginning
like
of
the
the
decisions, and I love the Geth as
Well,
a
It
character.
starts with the N7 armor. When you ask him why did you choose this, and he's like,
It's like there was a hole. Like,
Yeah.
yes, but why did you choose this armor specifically?
and he's
He's
like, unknown or something like
There's
that.
no data available. But like he made a choice. He wanted to wear because he was like inspired by
Well,
Shepard
yeah.
for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. Yeah.
Great story.
A character that is like in my opinion S tier that's not on this list because you can't squad with them is the Arachni.
The Rachni Queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're such an integral part of this story, and it parallels again with right in line with that. Like everyone fears them because they're typically violent, I guess, or territorial at least, and they reproduce like millions of babies a day. So
Yeah.
they could just completely. I mean, it's kind of wild because when you do their loyalty mission in 3, like the boost that you get from the having their species on your side
Yeah,
is insane.
as long as you didn't kill the queen in the
Right.
first game.
If you saved the queen, that's the only way I think you can get the true like the top tier destroy option in 3 is if to get that many points. I think you have to do that because you basically have to play a flawless game. But I love that because they make these like characters and races and like so great because millions of babies a day that could be a problem, especially if they're like violent. Because are other arachnids violent or they're just territorial? What is their their thing?
They were, and it was because of a corrupted like song. Like they
call
speak
it
in
song,
music.
but that's how they.
Yeah.
It's like wave patterns that somehow communicate, and that's how they.
And if you take that away, they're fine.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
That's when they go crazy.
Oh, so
That's
they need
why
that.
you want to free the queen because she can.
Sing to them.
Mhm.
But yeah, they would basically, if you had any kind of upper hand, they would retreat beyond the relay, regroup, and come back. And so there's no way to stop them. There's another badass thing about the Krogan. Krogan just fucking followed them into that thing.
Yeah.
And just tanked them.
Yeah. All right,
We got Liam.
Andromeda.
If I could rate an F, he would be
Yeah.
in that. I absolutely hate him. His loyalty mission is so annoying. He spends the whole time doing the exact opposite of what you tell him.
Nice.
I wish you could kick him off the ship. Like that bad. Because it's like he does not listen to you and you're supposed to be his captain. He almost gets you killed like 3 times.
No. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, Liara.
All discussion. S tier.
S tier.
Really?
She's
Yeah.
so integral to Shepard.
Yeah, she's my chosen romance every time.
Wait, not Liara. Excuse me. The power broker.
Yes, power broker. She's like Kyle said, she's huge to the story, to Shepard.
She's the reason that you even survive.
Mhm,
That you're even
2.
alive in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
She found your body.
She is, not only is she like, even though I joke around a lot because she's not my favorite romance, I think she's like the canon romance in the creators' heads. 'Cause
Who's
they
your
put
favorite romance?
So much, you know who it is.
You guys, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I want to do her next.
No, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But,
But-
we have the 2 great romances in there. I could do back to back. I don't want to save Tally. For
I
last.
guess okay, we can. Well,
You know it's Tally.
But
is my
so are you
favorite
the one that
romance.
disagrees? You think Liara's?
yeah, I love Liara.
Yeah.
Dude, Tally is.
I was
big.
on your side with Tally.
I
yeah.
thought he was the one that was okay.
Yeah.
Tally is goat tier, not even S. It's higher.
Tally's S tier as well.
Tally's been
Yes.
by your side the whole time. She's the true romance. I went through and just
She's not the true romance.
dude, like 2 weeks ago, I just watched
Canon
like,
romance
all
is
of her, all of her like flirting because I didn't romance her. I went with fucking Liara because I didn't know any better.
Because you listened to Dylan.
and she's the best.
We got the chat saying, "Yeah, Tally." See, they agree. But you know,
Thank
here's
you.
the thing. What? It's like now you're really confusing me. What side are you on? No, Tally is the way to go. Like I just watched like the interactions they have between Shepard. Honestly, they're pretty weak. Like when she's flirting with him, he's like, "I feel the same way about you." It was like it felt so raw and like fake, like or just so forced, I guess. And Liara definitely is probably the canon romance. Like that's what they want you to do. There's definitely more story built around that. But Tally, if you examine it, dude, she was there the whole time with you. She stood by your
So
side.
was Liara.
Liara was not.
No, she was not.
She finds your dead body and brings you back
Yeah,
to
and
life.
then she gets so obsessed with finding her
Yep.
her buddy Farron
yeah.
that she doesn't.
you have to waste the
join
whole
you.
DLC.
But
to
she doesn't
bring her
join
back.
you in saving the galaxy because
Until you do
apparently
this.
being a mob boss is more important
Yeah.
to her.
She wanted to protect you by knowing everything.
Yeah, well, you can't justify that. I
Yeah.
don't think.
It's just based on preference. I'm fine with you guys liking Tally, but I like Liara more.
All right, well,
Absolutely. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, that's what's great about
you're
this
entitled to your wrong opinion.
game. No, it's not wrong.
It's just
Ask the
factually-
creators.
Well, it ain't right. I don't think the creators would
Mass
answer that
Effect
question.
4, it looks like Liara's in it.
They
Yes.
wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Liara's in number 4.
So is
Confirmed.
Rex probably.
Tally
So
might
is-
be dead.
Yeah.
Rex,
How long do Quarians live?
Not as
Not
long
long.
as Krogan's and.
I think they only live
Sorry.
like 100 years.
I can
Actually, I think
romance
they're.
Liara
aren't there-
twice.
Wait, no. It's the Quarians that live. No.
Humans live
what's the
between.
Moradins?
By this time in like the future, humans live between 150 to 200 years, just based on
Oh.
advancements in health and stuff.
So what's Morden's race again?
Solarians.
Solarians
So-
have the shortest one.
yeah,
right?
they're about
like-
40 years. Is
I
around.
thought Quarians were just a little bit.
No, Quarians are
longer.
comparable to humans, I
Okay.
believe.
So I can romance Liara possibly
And then when she
twice.
takes, hey, when you have the photo of her at the end,
How-
it's just
How weird would that be if there's a new protagonist and,
And you get
Liara's
to
a romance
romance
option?
Liara.
And like she's like,
You remind me of
Shepard
Shepard.
did it a little bit better than you. Like you're nothing like the commander. Compared to him, you're nothing. Just constantly throwing it at you.
Oh God.
what if the destroy ending, like, because isn't so everyone says the destroy ending's canon, right?
Yes, supposedly.
And then if you max it out, you survive the destroy ending, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could Shepard technically be in this next one? I mean, we know nothing. All we have is like
In
a
theory.
one-
In theory, he could.
Yeah.
Although Liara looks older, based on the trailer we see, she
Yeah.
she got burnt. by
has
the
crow feet.
destroy.
That's what people
She's
online
got
say.
crow's
She got
feet in
crow's
her
feet
eyes?
in her eyes, and so they're like,
I didn't
she's
even
older.
notice that.
So supposedly, if that's true and she's older,
If she's like a matriarch, 950 years old or something, that'd be kind of cool too. See how
I
much.
have 8,000 grandchildren.
Yeah, I don't know. I do really like Liara as a character, and I do think that she, no matter what, she's like your best friend, even if you don't romance her. I don't think the creators of the game would actually say what they think is
Yeah.
canon because they don't want to divide their audience in any
well,
way.
and I think both Tally and Liara, especially, maybe you could even say Ashley or Caden. They're like the three main romances. Well, I guess Garrus is included in that as well, but they're definitely the main romances. So I feel like they get some content, you know. But Liara feels like she gets just a tiny bit more
Yeah.
content wise.
Well, because
Definitely.
I think she gets more in 3 than like Tally does, but like it's because I guess there's DLC, but until that Shadowbroker DLC came out, she didn't really have anything.
That's
Yeah.
true, because I'm evaluating it with the
Yeah.
DLC.
Because even if you romance Liara, your only interaction with her is like kissing her once in Omega or on Ilium, and then being
then
like,
3.
"All right, well, I'll see you around since you won't help me," and then you gotta go on a suicide mission.
That's why Tally's Bay.
Tally was with you.
Who's this?
Tally's the little sister.
That's
Cora.
Andromeda?
Yeah,
I don't really remember her. I want to say she's not a D. I think she might be.
she
a C.
was raised and trained by
By
a
Asari,
Asari.
that's
And
right.
she like thinks like she like identifies as an Asari.
Sorry, but there's like basic abilities that you don't have. That
Yeah.
Sorry, do.
And she's all right, but she's just very
First of all,
gruff
sex
and
is not that great.
she has one of the we'll have to watch it after this. Andromeda
Well, 'cause-
was known for terrible animations. Their sex scenes are the only things that aren't animated poorly.
Oh,
They'd like
really?
put
They
all
went
their
all out.
budget.
Yeah.
into
Well,
those.
isn't that one of the things the Asari have? Is like they have like the ability. To,
She's
like,
not a
link-
Asari.
No, I know,
Can't
but that's what
mind.
I'm saying. That yeah.
Well, like I don't
the ability
really.
to link,
I don't
right?
know what this does, pleasure wise, if you will. But apparently, like their nervous systems, if
Yeah.
you have relations with an Asari, they can like meld nervous systems. So
Blow your mind.
so that
literally.
literally it'll take you to a different realm. Like
Well, you see it in Mass Effect 3 with Liara. You finally get to see it. It's
yeah,
space.
she takes you even if you're just a friend. She will show you her. Yeah, that's what she does. That's why it's a little bit questionable that she does that.
You always cheat on
Oh,
Tally.
you want to
with
go to space with me real quick? All right, yeah, let's go. I got a few minutes.
The
All
romance with PB and Andromeda kind of really shows what that does too.
Mhm.
It's very interesting. But
Javik.
her. Javik. Oh.
it's either A or S for me.
Yeah, I'm going to say A.
I was gonna say A too.
Yeah.
Just because he is great, but I don't know if he's on the S tier. But I love his story arc, and I mean, I know you guys think you're both different in the opinion of I have him survive to write the book with Liara
Yeah.
in my option. But I love his arc of going from in my story. It's different than your guys. He goes from somebody who, has no hope and is very calculated to learning to let go of the past and to live in the now.
I like him. I think maybe for different reasons, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the arc of him. After he finally helps you destroy the Reapers, and he's like, "I will go and be with my men." Is that it's as it should be? It's like a noble, like almost samurai-esque type thing, and But either way, I think he's a good character. I think my main thing is your argument that you had earlier was he's only in the one game.
Yeah.
So you don't
He's
get
so
the
good,
chance to really, if he was in,
Totally agree.
even if he was in 2 and 3, I think he'd be S tier.
And he doesn't really he adds so much to 3, but he doesn't have a loyalty mission, right? Besides
besides
obtaining
the
him?
main, yeah. Besides the main.
Yeah, I mean, just obtaining him is his loyalty mission, and it's more like a dialogue arcs.
Yeah.
Is really
Which
Yeah.
I think, there was always a theory. I mean, it's not a theory. He was cut content for money.
He was a day one DLC, wasn't he?
So it's kind of BS that he was a day one DLC.
he was.
He's not even in the main game.
No, he's a DLC
Originally,
character.
no.
And he's so integral to the main story that he had to have been in it all along, and they cut him out for extra
Money.
funds.
Well, I was gonna say I could see him like without the story, but then you're really running in the blind in terms of a lot of the background. And he adds such a cool element to the game.
Yeah, I love when you take him on Liara's mission in the temple, and he just basically ruins her
Entire religion.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, we saw you
That
guys
was
were
us.
kind of dumb, so we figured to help you out."
That's fucked. All right, Morden.
Even in those times, Asari were recognized as potential candidates for being very powerful. So I think that's why
Uplifting, right?
Yeah, they spent so much time with the
I'm shocked they
Asari.
didn't kill him.
I think that, well, didn't they say, so didn't Javik say that when they knew what Reapers were doing, they specifically ceased all contacts and hoped that they'd spare some of the younger species because
Yeah,
they
I
weren't quite
think.
advanced enough yet? They probably were in their equivalent of like, not like maybe like probably past the point of Stone Age. I mean, if they're creating religions and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then they were probably pretty far along in their evolution. The Asari were, so they ceased all contact with them to give them a chance in the next cycle. Interesting stuff.
Morden S.
S, not even a option for any other one.
Not even enough.
Great character,
Best-
great arc,
Best arc in the game for me.
great sacrifice. So sad.
He has the best character development of anyone.
Yeah,
Like in terms of where he
Mhm.
starts to, he's all about logic, all about logic,
Calculating.
and then it was a mistake.
I love to see. That's one of the parts I love about Mass Effect in general is how you can impact them. I guess it happens regardless, but it does feel like Shepard is actually making them change, right? He's the vehicle for their change. So with Morden, my Shepard is always telling him like to not be so calculating and like, think about the stuff. And so it's really cool when you get to that final arc and he does admit that he feels like he messed up. And you kind of feel like, I got through.
I love it. He has that line. He's like, when you're like, you've always defended your genophage work. What changed? And he's like, getting old, Shepard. Not too many years left. Need to right wrongs or whatever he says like that. And he's only like maybe 35, but like for
Getting
him,
old.
that's that they live such a fast lifestyle and their mind works. I mean, that it feels like 80.
And he has a great song, Scientist Solarian.
I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. That one,
Yes.
I love
Who's
it.
this guy?
Drax.
Andromeda?
He's a Krogan.
Is it Drax?
For that reason, I'll give him a B.
Is it Drax?
I think it's Drax.
Same name as Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think it's Drac.
Drac.
Maybe.
We're giving him a B. We don't
I've
even
only
really
played through
remember.
Andromeda once.
Yeah. He's a good character. He's the oldest Krogan we know.
He's like
in
1,700
game.
years old.
Yeah.
Krogans live if they don't die first.
I was going to say, they don't really know how
No,
long
they
we
don't
live,
know
right?
the
they could live for
lifespan.
who knows how long. But the thing is, they're such a violent species.
They always die.
They always
before
die.
can find
Yeah.
out. But yeah, he was a good character. He plays more like an old man kind of character in Andromeda. So an old man Krogan was good. Krogans are always good. They're easy to write.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out if his name is actually
Drek. I know it was a DR, and then there was a K in there somewhere.
and
Samara.
hold on,
We're looking up the name real quick.
Nakmor Drak.
Drak.
Yeah.
Nakmor Drak. Alrighty.
Forgettable.
Samara is going to be an A for me.
I love Samara's character.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish you could romance her. I really like
kind of can.
you. Yeah, you kind of can. I really like the talks you have with her as Shepard.
She also has the genetic thing.
No.
right?
No, she doesn't.
Her
doesn't.
daughters do.
Her daughters.
She's just as a Justicar, they have like a celibacy. No,
Yeah.
they still can have relationships if you talk to her. They still can, but she like chooses not.
She's
to.
just asexual kind of thing.
No, I don't even know if she's that. Like she talks about all of her flings and wild lifestyle she used to have.
Lore.
And I think you could even ask her, Shepard. You can ask her like, does being a Justicar prevent you from being in a relationship? And she's like, no, but I've chosen to leave that part of my history. 950 years old. You know, at a certain.
Yeah.
I mean, she's at least 900, right? She's close,
Yeah.
if not.
She's
Sorry to
old.
live for how long? 1,000 years?
I have on average about 1,000 years.
That's crazy.
Maybe she's a little bit young. She could be in like the 700s, but I think she's entered her matriarch stage. So she's definitely really up there for sure.
But I use her over Jack every time as a biotic. I just like her personally and her attitude more.
Yeah.
Very like samurai. They live by the code.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just really like her character, and I like the conversations you have.
Yeah.
They're all very deep, and she almost is on the same level as Shepard.
Yeah.
You know, when they talk, it's not where, you know, with some of the other characters like Morden, you as Shepard you help develop, whereas Samara, you guys are kind of just having a conversation about your lives.
She's the only character where it feels like she's informing you.
Yeah.
on things, and I like it.
Yeah, there's definitely a wisdom there.
You kind of get that a little bit with Thane too, actually.
Yeah.
A little bit with Thane as well. But he never actually comes around to like, you know, that's not, I don't agree with your tactics. Because as a Paragon, you tell Thane, like, I don't know if I agree with your belief system that you're not killing these people. Your hirers are. He never changes that opinion. So I don't know if you're actually developing Thane, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah, he's pretty much developed,
Yeah.
but you become his friend.
Thane and Samara are like the most honorable of the group, I think.
Vetra?
Vetra. I like Vetra a lot.
Andromeda?
Yeah.
Andromeda. No, not a D.
She's
probably a B.
She's probably a B for me.
Wow.
She's
The highest Andromeda character made B.
Yeah, she's another Andromeda possible romance. That's a what are they called? Not Vicarious.
The Vicarians. They're all related to Garrus.
Taurian.
Turian.
Turians.
Wow.
I know.
Just one of the more important species.
Races. But yeah, she was pretty good. Not really much to say.
Yeah.
Now, Rex. S class. S plus, if we could.
Rex is definitely D for me, I think.
Not.
Not even close.
Look at this rounded out S tier, man.
Best Krogan in the game,
Yeah.
for sure.
Too bad you can't take 6 squad mates on every mission.
Papa Rex.
Rex, such a great
Rex
character. From
and
the
Garrus.
first game to the last game, he's your bro.
He's another one of your radder dice.
Yeah, and you get to see him develop into some crazy stuff. Like, he starts off this hot-headed mercenary. All of a sudden, next he's leading
He's
his
the
nation.
future for the Krogan.
Yeah. It's like, oh man. And he's like, he actually leveled out. He became more level-headed. So,
Yeah.
love his character. Love all
He's
the dialogue with
Definitely like a bit of a boomer.
Yeah.
you know, like in his behavior, but that's okay.
But he's like also like this incredible leader and also has like a very reasonable mindset. Like we can keep all our traditions. We can still keep like this tough mindset, but we can't like be an aggressor to the universe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
badass.
if you look at his brother Reeve, so if you kill Rex, Reeve is the leader of their people, and he's like the worst.
He's a very progressive thinker for Krogan, and
Mm-hmm.
him mixed with Eve. They have well, actually, her name is Bakara, but I always call her Eve because that's what they call her in the
Morgan
game.
calls her, yeah.
Him and her being together signals a very strong future for the Krogan.
Well, and yeah, I mean it's Adam and Eve basically.
Pretty much. I mean,
Rex and Eve.
restarting the
Rex and
cured
Reeve.
Rex and
cured the
Reeve.
genophage. That's
Neil
why
Adams,
Morden says that, and he's a human shit, human mythology, like seemed appropriate.
And I mean, in Mass Effect 3, his mission, Rex's mission, and this includes Morden too, they're so integral to the plot. I mean, it's one of my favorite choices. I can never do the stupid Salarian choice.
I think it's a common theme for the S tiers. Either they're just how loyal they are to you as a person, but also how integral they are to the story is kind
Yeah.
of determining our top list here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Miranda.
Miranda,
Bootylicious.
this one's tough. I'm gonna go B.
I go C.
I'm gonna go B. Yeah, I'm gonna go B. I like her a lot as a character. I do think that she's not super integral to the story overall. I say that, but she also is the one that rebuilt you from scratch.
Yeah,
She's primarily responsible for you surviving, but it wasn't like altruistic or
well,
anything. It was
and
motivated.
after that, she kind of just
she doesn't like you.
yeah.
She doesn't like, and you can win her over, yeah, and she's a good romance option, but as a character, she's only in 2. She fights you for half the game before she comes around your side, and 3, even when you fully have her trust, she doesn't tell you what she's doing the whole time.
I know.
There's no, she's like, I'm looking for my father. There's something involved, but like, she's like, I need resources. I can't tell you why.
You just have to trust me,
It's like,
Shepard.
yeah.
And then finally, at the very end, she gets her ass kicked. you gotta
come save her.
Yeah. And
Yeah. The whole thing with the Cerberus and stuff, and like the whole unknown with that, and who's her loyal to, and
nobody knows who reports to
Yeah.
who within service because nobody knows what other groups do, and like it's all very like shadowy, and
it's one of my biggest knocks against the game, for sure.
Cerberus.
Yeah, Cerberus and honestly Miranda's whole thing.
Zaid, he's a
Zaid.
D
Yeah,
for me.
I hate this. But his loyalty mission, I don't even like doing it because I don't
he's
feel
just
like
an ass.
yeah,
like
I
like
love.
a mercenary, right?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
mercenary.
He started the Blue Suns,
Yeah.
co-founded.
I love the Paragon interrupt with him if you have enough at the end of his loyalty mission where Shepard just puts him in his place.
Yeah,
It's so good.
What does the interrupt do?
So he's like yelling at you for letting the guy escape, and he's like, lift this metal off of me. And you can either leave him or like lift it off of him, and he still hates you, but he was hired by Cerberus, so he's fine with it. But if you do the interrupt, don't you like pull your gun out on him?
yeah, and you're like basically like you need
I
to
think I did
shape
that.
the F up. If you don't, you're gone. Like this mission is not about you. I could care less about your problems, type of thing.
Yeah.
But Shepard says that in a much more eloquent way than I just
And
did.
it's a
And
Paragon
very-
interrupt.
yeah.
It's not even Renegade, and your Shepard
I'm
pulls
pretty
out a
sure
gun.
I did that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he he wisens up after that.
I've never got him to survive Mass Effect 2 until this most recent playthrough.
really
Yeah, because I always just don't give a shit about him.
well. The
Wow.
only reason I like him in Mass Effect 2 is after you do the loyalty, he's as strong as Grunt and Garrus, and their point value is crazy. So
Basically, if you leave any one of those characters behind, then everyone's saved.
yeah,
They have the strongest defense line. Garrus actually has a very high defense line as well. But I always take him with me because I want my bro with me when I take out that take out that human proto reaper.
last we got Kasumi.
Kasumi Goto, she's interesting.
I wish she had more. I'm gonna say a C because I liked her character, but I feel like
You
just
don't know
didn't
much
go-
about her.
Yeah, didn't go anywhere.
Other than she's a good thief.
She came in 3, or was she
She
in
was
2?
in 2.
She was in 2.
She was a DLC character. She had the Donovan
heist.
Hawk heist mission.
Not a memorable character for me. I don't remember too much about her storyline. You can romance her, correct?
No.
Not even as female.
Nope.
Nope.
She's obsessed with her boyfriend who died,
Yeah.
and that's why you go on the heist.
I mean, she does have a crush on Jacob because, like,
That's
she
right.
says, "Oh, Jacob would have got me back on board," and he's like, "Kasumi, what about your boyfriend?" She's like, "I'm grieving. I'm not dead," or something like
Yeah,
that.
I remember
like,
that. Yeah.
I don't know.
'Cause it was like
I
a
don't know
data
if D
thing,
is.
wasn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
like rethinking this. I don't know if D is fair for Jacob
Oh,
as a male shepherd. I mean, he's boring, but he's not
I think D's
compared
fair.
to some of these other characters. Though I hate them much more than him.
I think him and Ashley fall in the same field. I feel like there needs to be an
But
E.
is he really the same as Morinth?
No.
like I mean,
That's
come
why there
on.
needs to be an E field.
F minus.
Yeah, F. Because
If
that's
there was an E field, then Morinth and Zaid would be down there for
with
me,
Liam.
and Liam and Ashley and Jacob would stay at D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because that
Well, let's take a look.
it's not fair to say Jacob's as bad, or Ashley for that matter, is as bad as Morinth. But,
Yeah. But we're limited by the design of our tier list.
Yeah.
But overall, look at that. Pretty
Wow.
pretty even. And you thought we were gonna do all S, Billy.
Well, I thought that definitely was the danger of that.
well, that S tier is definitely the
It's thick and sexy.
A is a really good list too.
Yeah.
Look at that. If the games only had these characters, they'd still be really, really good.
S and A are definitely top of the top for sure. They deserve to be there.
I didn't want to look at the B. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
A and S.
There she is, right in the middle.
Liara.
Tally, they're both right in the middle.
I know.
I love the photo at the end on your desk where she has her mask off. Right?
You get a photo of Liara on your desk too.
Yeah, but she's fucking alone,
It's
standing there.
it's not nearly as
No.
good a photo as the one of
And
Tally
this is her
after
vulnerable.
Legendary Edition.
This is her vulnerable. Takes the
Pre-legendary edition.
Pre-Legendary
It was
Edition, the photo was the
photoshopped.
worst. They patched that and fixed it in the Legendary Edition. The photo was like a stock image they got from like Google, and they photoshopped her fingers, and it was terrible.
And
It
they
was
put like
so
a
bad.
bright sun over it so you couldn't like
It was
They do like rush it in the last 6 hours.
It was like, yeah, like they decided in the very last second before launch to do that. It was the worst like image
reveal ever.
and it was so disappointing if you were like a Tally like diehard. So I was very happy when they fixed that in Legendary Edition to a better photo.
Wow. Wow, what a game.
I
That
wish you
brings
could
us-
romance Legion.
I wish you could romance Rex.
Ooh,
Can't.
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
You can romance Grunt.
No, you can't.
He's your child.
When you get him drunk. Shepherd.
Thane is a very beautiful yet tragic romance option.
So who's your backup romance option besides the,
If it's
the
not
big hitters?
Tally?
Yeah.
I'm going solo.
I
Jack.
mean, if it's not Tally, honestly, it's Liara. I think.
What-
I
oh,
do like
yeah.
Miranda too.
Besides those two.
I thought we were taking
Yeah.
those
Oh,
out.
besides those two,
Is it
then it's
Miranda?
gonna be either Miranda or Jack.
Miranda or Jack. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Samara. Even though it's only that kiss at the end.
Yeah,
Worth it.
that's
yeah,
a good one.
worth it.
Worth it.
For the Asari mommy.
See, I don't know because Thane is a really good one too, even though
Can
it's
you romance
a sucky
James?
ending. You can have a one night stand with him if you're a femshep. Yeah, at the Citadel party. If you haven't romanced anyone and you've said all the right things with him, you can have like a one night stand, and it's like a kind of a mutual separation at the end. Where like
That's kind of weird.
where you're like, oh man, that was pretty fun. He's like, I never thought I'd be doing that with Commander Shepard, and like we'll kind of laugh and
Then-
like all right, well, now back to work, you know. And it was not like a romance thing. It was they definitely designed it to be like a one night stand, like a hookup.
Huh.
But that's as far as you could also have a hookup with Javik, and you
That's
regret it
funny.
in the morning. And Javik literally goes, "Well, there's one thing that primitives are good at," and then and then she's like, "Not one word." And Javik just like walks out of the room, and you can actually do that with Javik.
No, I think Jack would be my second option.
Yeah.
Besides Liara and
How's her
Sally.
romance Jax in 3?
In 3, it's
Yeah.
actually really, really good. And like I said, she has a lot of the most tender moments of all romance options. But she talks about how you inspired her to change, and she pushes into that a lot more if you romance her. And then especially in the Citadel DLC, like there's this whole mission where she is like giving you a tattoo to like identify you in case you die. And she's like, I need to remember you. I can't ever forget, and but she's still Jack,
Yeah.
so like she says like things really like
Vulgar.
really vulgar and stuff. Like in the Citadel DLC, when you wake up with her and you're like, how are you? And she's like, horny. And then like she says it like so, and she's like, but I think everyone else is awake. And then you're like, well, I didn't stop you last night. Like their interaction is just much more like street. You know what I mean? Like but it's good.
You know what I'm thinking of? Where's Seth Green at?
Joker?
Joker would be S.
Yeah.
if he
I
was
know,
on
but
here.
he's not
Why
a
isn't he
squad
on there?
mate, I guess.
He's the one flying the ship.
He's your pilot.
But I think it's talk about you take on a mission.
He goes on every mission.
He takes you to every mission. So does Cortez. He should be there too.
No, Cortez is F tier. Get that fucking
No, he's
guy
a
out
B
of here.
for sure.
I think he's a C.
I give him a B. I give him an S.
What about the lady who reads you your mail?
Which one?
What?
Chambers.
Kelly?
Chambers.
You can romance
Or
Kelly,
Yeoman?
I know.
and it has no effect on your romance if you romance like, for instance, like Liara. You could romance Kelly in Mass Effect 2 and like she never finds out. It doesn't even bring it up.
And Dr. Chocolates. I mean, just for your squad.
Or Trainer. Trainer
Yeah.
I can't believe Joker's not in
between
here.
Trainer and Kelly.
I like Trainer more.
Trainer's way better than Kelly.
Who's Trainer? I can't
She's
remember.
the Mass Effect 3. The same thing that Kelly does.
the one that reads the mail.
Yeah. But she has... I love her lines.
She's not
in
only
this
reads
Citadel
mail though, but
DLC.
she's also like an analyst.
Yeah.
and so she can.
Did she bring something to the story other than like, oh, hi, Shepard?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, she
she's
does.
the one that calculates and pinpoints how to find Cerberus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
she
Because Chambers or whatever was...
Chambers doesn't do
She
anything.
does psychological profiles.
I'm just happy to be here.
She'll like say like, literally in the very first conversation with Kelly, she could be like, I know that if I close my eyes, lean back, you'd be there for me. And one of the options you could like say, I'd drop you, I'd catch you, or I'd embrace you. Those are can you imagine being so bold? You just meet somebody like, I know if I lean back, I'll catch you. I'd embrace you. Like,
I'd embrace
or
you.
I'd drop you.
What about the two engineers that are just spamming away in their laptops?
Gabby and Ken. That's his name,
They're
right?
great.
Ken? Or Engineer Adams.
Kenneth. Gabby
Yeah.
and Kenneth.
What about the one guy that's down in the
Adams?
Yeah.
Engineer Adams.
I love them all three. I make sure that I get them on every playthrough in the engine
Yep.
room. Even though they barely have any dialogue.
I just like
I
him.
remember I
Yeah.
almost screwed up everything because you guys. I was just playing the game. You're like, you have to talk to every single person after every single mission, or you could cause catastrophic things in the third game. What? We fucking have to just literally go and talk to these people like anything happened. We've been flying around. And sure as shit, dialogue. Ugh,
You
be
didn't
on
get the
ship.
GX 12 thermal pipe.
Yeah.
And so you were like, what do you mean? I was like, if you don't have that, they will, all three of them will die. And so you like installed it and you have to do a set amount of missions before it's done installing. And you're like, guys, I'm on the last mission and he's still in there installing it. And it ended up like he just finished installing it right when the final mission started.
Literally, it was perfect. You guys saved my ass because there's so much you could fumble through on accident.
Rex.
When you were like, guys, I killed Rex.
We're like,
It's so easy to accidentally do.
I mean, wasn't it Ashley? Like you were like, no, let's work this out. And Ashley went up and was like, fuck you.
Literally shot him in the face. I was like, what the fuck? How did that happen? I had to restart. There's like a very set like dialogue options. You had to
you either have to have her
you had to
armor.
talk to Kirhi.
Well, you didn't have,
Yeah.
Or no, I had to
you
do
didn't
the
have the
mission.
charm, so you
Yeah.
had to go get the armor,
Mhm.
and so you like restarted the whole thing so you can go get his family armor. So you're like, Rex, buddy, what about that time I got you your armor? And he's like, all right. But
Yeah, I didn't do that one thing, so I already knew I fucked up. I'm like, this guy's supposed to be there through it all. I couldn't imagine him being dead.
like how much that would? I mean, it does. It changes the story so much. Can
Can
you imagine not having Garrus in the final game?
Oh my gosh.
He can die in the suicide mission.
No way.
That'd be insane to not have Garrus.
Like Rex without the leadership for the Krogan. Like
Then
don't know.
I might choose Solarian. What they choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because Reeve, from what I've seen, he's like bad.
Well, you've seen him in the game
Yeah.
when,
Just blows up.
and then when Reeve is like getting dragged into the sand, he's like, Reeve was an ass anyway. Didn't even like look back.
Didn't even flinch.
Well, we've just crossed over the hour mark. Dylan, where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram and Twitter under KD Ratio Podcast, as well as on all your podcast listening platforms.
That's right, baby.
Where you can find us as well under KD Ratio Podcast.
Yeah, grab that
All
box
of
real
them.
quick. So if you haven't checked out our podcast, be sure to, because we talk about this game and this game a lot right now.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Boom.
That's such a weird way to. I like it.
I'm going to wear this as a helmet during the podcast. But we're going to be talking about Edge Runners.
Yes, Edge Runners.
And a couple other stuff that's going on right now. Be sure to give it a listen because those are a little bit more organized, I guess. I don't know. I say that every time, but then I get a cringe from Kyle going, it's not organized.
It's fun.
It's fun. It
that
definitely
matters.
is. It definitely is. So check us out there. We appreciate y'all you in the chat today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.